Today, we are taking a breakthrough road trip, and we're going to overcome the invisible obstacles that come our way. Specifically, we're going to prepare, we're going to beware, and we're going to do it scared. Give me a break. I know it's cheesy, but sometimes you just have to have a little fun. Welcome to the Breakthrough Club, the channel that is obsessed with helping you achieve your next career breakthrough by sharing tips, tools, strategies, and expert advice that gives you a competitive edge. So I recently signed up to do a vendor booth at a women's luncheon. It's the first time I've ever done a vendor booth. And I decided to do it because I really felt like I needed to push myself to get out there and to start talking about my book, Break Up, Break In, Break Through, that's going to be coming out here in a few weeks. I needed to engage with people about the cover art and get opinions and votes on which cover I should go with. And I really wanted to start a conversation with women about their journeys, their career successes and frustrations, and the breakthroughs that they are pursuing themselves or want help to pursue. So I decided to go ahead and do this. And I did not anticipate all of the issues I was going to encounter in this little journey of mine. So I'm going to share that with you today. And I want to do it in the context of this idea that you have to prepare. There are things that are going to come up that, regardless of how well you prepare, you have to be aware and beware of. And lastly, you can't just tuck tail and run when everything goes wrong. You have to do it scared, or rather push through and keep going. Today, that's what we're going to talk about. Anytime you start a new breakthrough journey, you have to prepare. And you know that you're going to have to prepare because you're doing something that is a first-time situation. And anytime you go into a first-time situation, you're not sure what to expect. There is a learning curve, and you have some semblance of an idea that you don't know what you don't know. So you need to prepare for that. I think we all know this, and most of us will do some form of preparation simply because we want to be more comfortable in an uncomfortable setting by doing what we can to prepare. And that's what I did for this vendor booth. I decided I needed to have a booth of some sort, so that meant I needed a display. I needed to figure out what I was going to put on the table to draw people up and into my sphere so we could have conversations and have that awkward moment broken by something we could both focus on. And in this instance, it was a poster for my 3 cover art options, as well as an obnoxiously large banner saying, "Hi, I'm Jen," with my face literally life size. I had no idea it was going to be as obnoxiously large as it was when I ordered it, but I ordered it, it came in, it's what I had. So I was going to use it anyway. And so I got myself ready. I put together, talking points in my head about how I could engage people, because when you meet someone for the first time, sometimes you freeze, or at least I do. And so it helps if I have a few kind of starter ideas in my head of how to engage with people. I did, a lot of pep talking of myself on the way down. In fact, I'll insert my pep talk here because I was a little freaked out and uncomfortable. Let's just say uncomfortable. So that takes us to point number 2, beware. Even when you've done everything you can to prepare, the unexpected happens. I mean, I was buttoned up. I had everything ready to go. And on top of all of that, I even had this idea that I was going to capture this whole new experience on camera so that I could share it in a YouTube video in the future. And look, this would be so cool. And I could do this, fancy thing or that fancy camera shot. Yeah, none of that worked out the way I thought. Take a look. So not only is the camera angle just bad, and it's all shot in portrait instead of landscape mode, which for a YouTube video, you really need landscape. On top of that, I did not account for a top-heavy iPhone on a flimsy travel tripod and a stiff breeze, which, wait for it, there it goes. Yep, it blew my iPhone over and hit the asphalt pavement. So my point with all of this is that when you are putting yourself out there and you are trying something new and you prepare and things just go wrong left and right, you are so tempted to feel down, demoralized, and like the whole thing is just not worth it. Like that. Everything that can go wrong seems to go wrong. And the peanut gallery in your head starts chirping at you and heckling you and telling you to give up, to pack it up, to go home. This was not meant to be. And in those moments, because there will be those moments, and there will be many of them, you have to just quiet the voices. And if you can't quiet the voices, you have to ignore the voices, because the voices can't win. You planned using your logical brain well in advance, based on the data and the information you had, and you decided that plan was the right path forward. And in those moments of uncertainty, when things aren't quite going the way you think they should or the way you want them to, you have to lean on the fact that you had a plan and you're going to work that plan. And even if you have to pivot and tweak and adjust, you will still keep going forward. And that brings us to our third point. You got to do it scared. As I've been going through this journey, one thing that my husband James has continually told me is 2 words: keep going. And granted, point 3, do it scared. You may not be scared, but I think you understand what I'm trying to get at here. You have to keep going. You have to push through. In those moments where you feel unprepared or you feel ridiculous, like I did with my vendor booth, or you just feel so frustrated. I mean, come on, I hadn't even walked through the doors of the venue and already I had a cracked screen on my iPhone, I had an obnoxiously large banner, and I was frazzled and worried that I wouldn't be able to pull myself together enough to be really present and mindful and in the moment for the people that I was there to meet and greet and support and help achieve their breakthroughs. I had to let go of everything and just be quiet for a minute and change and shift my attitude, and told myself, I'm here, I've got all this stuff, I'm gonna stick with the plan that I set out for myself, and I'm gonna do it. Because at the end of the day, the people who succeed and the people who achieve breakthroughs are often not the smartest, not the wisest, not the most experienced, not the most whatever. What they are is the most stubborn and the most unwilling to give up. And you know what? That event ended up being a huge success. I spoke to way more people than I thought I was going to have the opportunity to. I connected in very genuine and meaningful ways with people that were complete strangers, and I walked away with a much better result than I thought was even possible. Just as unexpected issues arise, so can unexpected blessings. So, my friend, join me in overcoming all of these invisible roadblocks on your breakthrough journey and just keep going. I suggest you do that with this video here.